나무 묘호랭개교 나무 묘호랭개교 나무 묘호랭개교. Hello, friends. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo. Thank you for being here. I hope you're healthy and safe. This is a brief video just to set the stage for the new year coming in a few days. I'll be doing a full Gangyo for New Year's, but I wanted to speak to those of you who have come to this channel specifically in your practice of Nichiren's doctrine of the Lotus Sutra Buddhism. I am going to wander as I have through older sutras, older concepts, because I think it's important in our study, as Shakyamuni urged us to do, is to study all of the scholarship of Buddhism so that we can find our own specific path to our Gohanzan, our Buddha-ness, our path to that perfection of wisdom in our minds to experience the world as it truly is, which includes the entire universe. How to adjust our mind to really clearly perceive what it is we're swimming through, participating in, living, what is actually happening, so that we're not tossed around by emotions and fears and pain and so on and so forth, anxieties and stress, right? That's the whole game of Buddhism, is how do we live this life fully with all our potential, while at the same time not feeling as though either we're missing something or we're being pummeled by it. This life is for you and I to experience life as a whole in its glory, wonder, amazement, without feeling sorrow, unreasonable ecstasy, loss, gain, all those emotional attachments of samsara, but still within it, so that we can enjoy and sense the amazing moment that it is that we are conscious experiencing this life. So, though we can kind of put the blinders on and becoming chanting machines, sometimes we have to do that, right? Our samsaric minds, though, is always doubt creeps in. So that's just the nature of humanness. So study is a way of reminding our human mind what's going on here, right? So that we can sidestep that attachment process altogether, become kind of experiencers of the process without being sucked into it. Like my analogy about the rapids. You know, life is like rocky, fast-moving water rapids. And it can be amazing to watch. Just sit on the side, listen, smell, see, feel, touch the rapids. It's an amazing thing. But it's quite a different experience to be in the rapids. And so Buddhism basically says, you can see all there is to see and experience of the rapids while you're by the rapids without having to dive into and bounce off the rocks in order to experience the rapids. It's really that simple. And the more we study these older sutras, whether Hinayana, Mahayana, somewhere in between, we can see that message is very, very consistent throughout. It's not like Nichiren popped up and said, I turned the light on, oh, look. The benefit we have of Nichiren is that he made things more clear for our epoch, our era of being at this time. Because we think differently. We understand differently. We start from a much more evolved place in this time. And so those earlier teachings, which are still true, aren't fully effective for us today. Because we already know this stuff, or we need to remind ourselves of it perhaps, but it would be very difficult for us to attain our enlightenment going through those earlier steps. We would be bored, quite frankly. So Namo Myoho Renge Kyo is a condensed, immediate version of Buddha's teachings for us today. And some of us are happy with that. We'll just study Nichiren's writings. We'll study the Lotus Sutra and try to get into the depth of its meaning. And that's all we need to do. It's a very satisfying practice. But it isn't really complete, because there are doubts that will creep into your practice. So use this channel. Use the website. There's a ton of information here. And so, to those of you who just want to focus on Myoho Renge Kyo, I hear you. And there is a playlist of Nichiren Gosho on this channel that's well over 300 videos. If you watched one every day, it would take you a year to go through all of them. There's a playlist for the Lotus Sutra, the Lotus Lectures. And the Lotus Lectures has well over 40 videos in it. It's going to take some time to go through those, just one at a time, let alone re-listening, re-watching, whatever. There are playlists on this channel, and there's a search bar just for this channel. If you want to type Gosho in there, you'll get everything in the playlist and others where I talk about the Gosho. If the 3,000 Realms keeps popping up in Nichiren's talks and you want to know more about that, that's why I talk about these other Perfection of Wisdom, 3,000 Realms. I have a whole set of videos just for that. Those were the early days of this channel, so they alternate between 3,000 Realms, Origins of Life. But if you use the playlist, you'll get everything. And there are dozens and dozens of videos under the 3,000 Realms playlist. There are 5 that directly address it. And they may, I have a scientific background, so they may go into verbiage that, you might have trouble understanding. But altogether, you'll get the picture. The more recent ones where I talk about 3,000 Realms might be more relatable to you. All of this is to say that I'm creating a resource. And not every day am I going to talk on a subject or sutra that you're particularly interested in this moment, in this day. And that's okay. You don't have to watch this isn't a series on television. You won't ruin the plot if you jump around. So please use the search. I need to understand this karma thing. So type in karma, enter, and you'll get a whole list of videos from this channel. Not in the top search, not in the YouTube search, in the channel search. Right? I'll put a picture up. And sometimes you don't want to watch a video. You just, basic questions. threefoldlotus.com. It's a simple HTML site. There's no JavaScript. There's nothing to mess with your privacy or anything there. They're just pages and PDFs and links. Links are links. And you can go to threefoldlotus.com/home/home.htm, and you'll have a page there. I call it on the first page when you land on threefoldlotus.com. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see core study materials. Click that button and take you to that page. And there's a list. There must be at least 60 buttons there. And each button has a karma, Namo Myo Rengekyo, why Daimoku, how does it work, the people on the Gohanzon, the personages on the Gohanzon, the nature of Gangyo and or the Gohanzon, and I don't know. There's so many buttons there that are basic questions, and those links will open up mostly PDFs of research documents that I've collected or created for myself, and you can read through at your leisure. You can print them out. Make yourself a dossier of Threefold Lotus thinking information that you can refer to. The skandhas, what the hell are those? 3,000 realms. There's documents that you can read at your leisure when you can't sleep at night or whenever. There's a lot of study material on that website. There's even material in there from my martial arts training throughout my life on Qigong, how to breathe properly, and all sorts of abdominal breathing, stuff that's in, it's not called Beyond Zen anymore. I've renamed that book. What the heck is it called now? I think it's a long title on Nichiren's doctrine of the Lotus Sutra of Buddhism, independent. Anyway, I think there's an image of that on all of these videos recently, of where you can get that book if you want it in print, but you can get it for free on threefoldlotus.com. So much information there. So use the resource to suit your practice. You know, there on any specific day, something will alert you that you have doubts about something, some word, some term, some idea. I guarantee you, if you use the search on this very channel, you'll find videos where I talk about it. Same thing, hopefully, on the audio podcasts. My page there has a search within the podcast. I was careful to include that. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, though. And that's another thing. You can email me. You can make comments on videos, or you can just email me directly, tlksylvain@gmail.com. Many of you have used that avenue, and I've gone into quite detailed answers or responses. That's my whole goal here, is to be a resource for you. So if on any specific day I'm talking about something, oh, he's talking about the skandhas again, it breaks my brain to listen to him talk about the skandhas. Well, then listen to something else. This is your practice. I can't emphasize that enough. I'm here to help you in your practice. There may be a day in the coming year where suddenly you'll go, okay, I need to dive into these frickin' skandhas. Let's see what Sifu Sylvain has to say about it. You know it'll be here. You'll know that the threefoldlotus.com website will have some kind of documentation on it. And you can dive into your heart's desire. But always, always, always know that I approach every aspect of Buddhism from our point of view. Our latter-day Mapo Lotus Sutra Buddhism perspective. So even if it sounds like I'm studying some far off Hinayana or early Mahayana sutra, I'm going to relate it to Myoho Renge Kyo, because that's the only way it has use for our development of our instant awakening, our Buddha-ness manifest. That's what we're all trying to do here. Okay? I hope that's helpful. I think it's easy to forget how powerful this tool is, the channel, YouTube. We get, we have a lazy nature. So, he's not talking about something I'm curious about today, and you tune out. Don't do that to your practice. There's something on this channel. There are hundreds and hundreds of videos here. And documents on threefoldlotus.com. And oral podcasts if you don't want to watch me babble. You can listen to me babble. And it's all free. Of course, if you can support financially or with donations of something useful for this practice, for the Sangha, I'm deeply, deeply grateful for that. Because believe me, I need the help. So, in advance, great appreciation for that. But it's not a requisite, it's not a necessity. Your eyeballs and your ears are the support for this channel, as long as I can keep it up. Okay? Use the search, use the channel, use the website. It's your practice. Don't wait for me. Utilize my share for your practice. And if something comes up and you can't find it in the search, or it's a very specific thing and you don't know how to relate it to Buddhist information that might help you, believe me, I've responded, and you can see in the comments, I've responded several times to people with links to videos for more in-depth. And I'll give you an answer as I can in an email, but I can't have a whole discourse, right? It would become too much to read. So I'll have an answer, or I may just direct you to a couple of videos that answer it very quickly, because I use the channel and the website. Do you see? The resource is the resource. It's a resource for all of us. Sometimes I have to remind myself about stuff I've already researched years ago. Oh yeah, I remember finding that out. Okay, good to know. Because day to day we evolve. And the same information we read 5 years ago may have a very different, more evolved, more complex, more direct meaning to us today. Because we're not the same person we were 5 years ago. Right? This is something we know as Buddhists. So please, in 2022, make this resource work for you. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I appreciate your time and your practice. Most impressive. Very proud of you guys. Thank you for an amazing 2021. This channel is slowly, continuously growing. And that swells me with great gratefulness for the opportunity. It bolsters my practice. In every way, I hope that it bolsters yours. So congratulations on making it through 2021. And let's make 2022 the year of enlightenment. Okay? Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.